What's up, party people? Strobe Contaring here, and I know I've been on quite a bit of a hiatus since my last video, which was a little more than 2 months ago. Now, since that last video, there's been actually a lot of news that has occurred in the fighting game community on games that we've covered on this channel. So, first we're going to delve into DNF Duel. In DNF Duel, there have been 2 characters that have been revealed and are playable now in the game, and that is the Spectre and the Brawler. Also, next month, in December, we can look forward to the unveiling of the Battle Mage. In Street Fighter 6, Fang's protege, the crazy and alluring Aki, is now playable in the game, and there are still 2 more DLC characters left in the Season 1 pass, and that would be Ed and Akuma. As for Tekken 8, there have been not 1, but 2 closed beta tests in that time frame. Hey, asshole! Did you get into the beta? No. Who sent you back here? Anyways, Tekken 8 has also revealed 15 additional characters, with 1 more to be unveiled on 12 November, which will bring the total starting roster of Tekken 8 to 32 playable characters. Now, this video is going to focus on Tekken 8 and the most recent beta test. My opinions are going to come from those streamers that I was able to watch who are using my main character, Ling Xiaoyu, my concerns, and what to expect going forward. A quick recap on all confirmed characters thus far in Tekken 8. Kazuya Mishima, Jin Kazama, King, Jun Kazama, Paul Phoenix, Martial Law, Jack 8, Lars Alexanderson, Ling Xiaoyu, Nina Williams,
Leroy Dragons!
Asuka Kazama, Lily Day Rochford, Brian Fury, Horarong, Claudio Serafino, Azucena, Raven, Leo, Steve Fox, Kuma, Yoshimitsu, Shaheen, Dragunov, Feng Wei, Panda, Lee Chaolong, Alyssa Boskanovich, Zafina, Devil Jin, and most recently, Victor. Leaks have also stated that the final character will be Heihachi's daughter, Reina, for a grand total of 32 characters. Now here's a quick recap on my predictions from back in May. Now, I was wrong about the number of new characters, thinking that there would be 7, but instead there are only 3. But if Reina takes on the fighting style of Heihachi, style-wise, then there's really only 2 new fighters to Tekken, making this game with the fewest new additions at launch since Tekken 2, when Jun and Lei Wulong were the only new characters, not counting Jack 2, who were not unlockable characters. Now I have to say that I'm actually pretty surprised at the lack of new characters, but also at the same time, with 30 characters returning, again, we're not counting Jack 8 as a new character, due to the fact that he is just a 1-up number from the previous version of Jack, something that they've been doing since Tekken 1. But there are still many popular characters who have been left out that will likely be coming as eventual DLC. Characters that I can think of off the top of my head would be a Capoeira user, like Eddie Gordo or Chrissy Montero, the aforementioned Lei Wulong, Nina's sister and rival, Anna Williams, and a kickboxer user, either Bruce Irvin, Josie, or Fakum Ra, and these are just a few that some fans might say are missing from the game. Now, I do find it a bit disappointing that there were not going to be more new characters added to the franchise overall. But I don't think this is going to hurt the game, as the fewer brand new characters there are, the more returning characters can be added instead. And returning characters will have people want to get the game more than possible new characters that no one has seen before. Though, there is a glimmer of hope, and that is that Tekken 7 did release 5 brand new characters that were never seen in Tekken before via DLC, and this was after the game had launched. So we could see more brand new characters just a little bit later on. Though with the two characters of Azucena and Vincent, I think so far that they nailed it with those two, and we'll talk a little bit more on Vincent later. In the end, a 32 character roster is the largest yet for a non-tag Tekken vanilla roster lineup, and unfortunately, someone had to be left out. But a big surprise to me of a character who was actually included is Devil Jin. Now, I'm not an expert at Jin in the slightest, but because there are already two Kazama style users in the game, which Devil Jin is, and Jin Kazama also had a lot of moves that were exclusive to Devil Jin in his kit, I agreed with many others that thought Devil Jin would not be included in this game. Now, with him being revealed this late, I'm calling it now. Somehow, Devil Jin and Jin Kazama end up getting split up physically, and Devil Jin ends up being the ultimate big bad in this game's story mode. Now, I'm not going to do a reaction video for Victor, as this video is already going to be long enough regarding my opinions on the beta and what I learned from watching SpiraNick, who's a proficient Xiaoyu player and was kind enough to share a lot of information of what he learned while he was playing the beta via his streams. Please check him out, as I've linked his information in the description below, and tell him that Strobes sent you. But my initial impression is that Victor, based on his story, obviously has connections with Raven, as seen in their intro together as well. Victor's fighting style reminds me of a lead character of a John Wick, Taken, or Equalizer movie. Mix that in with some Noctis from Tekken 7, and maybe a little Dante/Virgil from Devil May Cry, and overall he looks extremely cool. His gameplay looks extremely flashy, and I can see a lot of people gravitating towards him. Let's move on to my impressions that I've received from the latest beta. Now, again, disclaimer, I didn't play it for myself, but this is from what I did witness and had explained to me, and these are my opinions specifically on the character Ling Xiaoyu. One big takeaway with the character is that many of Xiaoyu's main moves have had the inputs changed completely, possibly for the sake of making it easier for new players to the game, or for people who have never used her previously. Here are some examples of how these moves have already been changed in the beta. Now, we're going to use the following button descriptions to describe these attacks. Left punch will equal 1, right punch will equal 2, left kick 3, and right kick 4. Alright, so these are some of the moves that have changed from Xiaoyu from Tekken 7 to Tekken 8. Now, not all of these are bad. So we're going to start with some of the things that are good, and then we'll move to some that are bad that I think are really going to give people problems when it comes to if they're a long-time user of the character Ling Xiaoyu. So the first is Snake Edge. Now, in order to do Snake Edge in Tekken 7, you had to do a sidestep, which is you type up real quick, up or down, and then afterwards you would hit 3. Right? So the bad thing with this is if you did this move, if your opponent was paying attention and they see you sidestep, that was kind of an indicator that you were about to do this move. Plus the fact that this move is very slow. So we see the startup is 27-28 frames. The fastest moves are 10 frames. So this is very slow in the realm of Tekken. So you can see it coming. So not only do you have the sidestep, which is an indicator, but you have this slow move that comes afterwards. It just allowed you to get punished. Now the move is down forward 3, which in Tekken 7 is her Power Crush, which in this game, this is an absolutely terrible move because it hits high, so opponents can duck it, and you don't get anything off of this. You can't combo off of this. You can't combo, you can't do anything off of this move. So actually, it's something that was really good. Another move that changed, but I don't think it's a terrible thing. It's kind of nice to have it, but the Sho Shumi, so forward 2+3. What it did is it allowed for Xiaoyu to kind of run and step on the opponent's back, right? Nothing too big right now, but but you could also combo off of it if they didn't tech it properly. So if you do this, it allowed for enough time for you as the player to get a combo like this. So pretty decent combo for a throw. if they don't tech it properly. Now, moving on to the next one is forward 4. So this move, same move in Tekken 8, does the same thing. It's just the properties changed. Now, property changing moves, I am 100% fine with. They've changed properties with moves from game to game. That's not a big deal. You just have to kind of learn how to use it differently than what you've come accustomed to. So this move was great because it was kind of a long poke, and if you got it, you could confirm it with a combo and get a little bit more off of it. Next one is Art of Phoenix up 4-3 in neutral. So this move right here, again, the properties just changed. Now when you do this in Tekken 8, it just knocks them down all the time, like kind of like the second one. You don't get this back turn effect if you land it normally. So again, it's just a property change, so it's not the end of the world. Now, here are some of the things that are bad in my opinion. So they've gotten rid of all the sliding moves, which are like when you have to do one button really close to another button and just hit them really rapidly, almost plinking them. So basically, if you plink, you just go from 1 to really quick. So I do this, I do 2, 1, but if I do it really quick, as you see down there, I'm just kind of sliding my finger over. As you see at the bottom, it means I'm kind of plinking it. But this move is her raising palms. This was one of her launchers. So it's down forward 2, 4, or down forward 2 into 1, tilde 1, as we call it. And so this gave you this move. Now it is back 1-2. So back 1-2 in Tekken 8 or Tekken 7 does this, which is basically back 1, right? It doesn't do anything. So now instead of doing this, you'll just get this. And if you try to do this, you'll just get this slap right here. You'll just get this slap, and it won't do anything else. So that's something that's gonna have to be completely relearned by Xiao players. Also, this move, which is a move that I use a lot, a little roll flip kick, which was 4 tilde into 3, so 4-3 really quick. Slide it real over. So if I do 4-3, right? You see how the button presses, nothing happens. But if I slide it across, you see how it's 4, then 4 and 3 at the same time, and then into 3. That's what you get. Now it is just 3 plus 4. That's what that input is. In Tekken 7, 3 plus 4 gives you this little spin. So how do you do the spin in Tekken 8? Well, you do up and down to do 3 and 4 to get this spin. So completely change, something that you're gonna have to completely relearn because it is not what it used to be. Now, another move that is completely gone is, which I think is gonna be really big problems for Xiao players because we use this stuff all the time, is back stance 3. So back stance 3 gives you this little roll. They've changed this move to back stance 3 plus 4. So back stance 3 plus 4 again gives you the spin. So if I hit that, it's going to be back 3 plus 4. What back stance 3 does in Tekken 8 is this move. So if you're trying to do this, you might accidentally get this, which is really bad because those moves I think could have been kept the same if you wanted to. I think what you could have did, because if you just held back, if you just wanted to hold back in 3 and get this, I think that would have been better than just changing it to 3 plus 4, which is that. So I don't like that change. I think it's actually very bad. Another one that is really bad is AOP Art of Phoenix, and again you get that plinking 3 plus 4 to 3, and it gives you this little sweep, which is very good for Xiao. But now if you do that, you just get this. In Tekken, if you try that, you'll get this. So your muscle memory is going to make you just do this standing kick. If you want to do this sweep, you have to do 3 plus 4 If you do 3 plus 4, you'll get the slide, which is basically just 3. So those are just some of the changes that have occurred, and with that, we'll return you back to your regularly scheduled program. Now, if you want to see all of the Xiaoyu changes based on the previous beta, please check out Mr. Croft's video, which I've linked in the description below. My opinion of this? I don't like it. I understand trying to make some of the inputs easier for people coming into the game, but I think there's gotta be a better way of doing it other than completely mixing up the inputs. The problem with this is that for long-time players of this character, they will now need to completely relearn their muscle memory in order to play her, whereas other characters don't have to do this as much. I believe this was initially done because Xiaoyu is not a popular character for people to use in-game, but I think that she'll have a very prominent role in the storyline this time around, so she's been targeted to make her controls easier for those who have never used her before. And that's going to take us to the end of this video. Tekken 8 is going to reveal its last and final character on 12 November and release the game on 26 January of next year. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an open beta that comes out maybe as early as mid-December, but more likely possibly mid-January, ending with about a week before the release of the game. Now, what are you looking forward to most in Tekken 8? Is it the story mode, the player versus player aspect, or maybe some of the fun minigames they had before, like Tekken Ball or Tekken Bowl? Also, what character or characters are you looking forward to most using in Tekken 8? For me, it's going to be Ling Xiaoyu, Jun Kazama, and Asuka Kazama. Let your voices be heard in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe, as every view helps the channel to grow. And if you're looking forward to the next video, be sure to click that notification bell, and you'll receive a message as soon as the next one drops. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll be sure to have more in the future. But until then, I'm Strobes, and I'll catch you donkeys next time.